Thank you, Michael. You know something? What if he's not guilty?
What?
Well, I know he looks angry, but he also looks calm, as though he has nothing to fear. It's just arrogance, Felicia. Yeah. Oh, well?
Well, did he say anything? Oh, yeah. And?
What did he say?
Well... I don't believe it. I mean, he just laughed and walked out of here, and we just stood here helpless. Not over yet. Yeah, but you could have fooled me, buddy.
Hey, we've still got the restraining order.
Yeah, right, and it's going to take one phone call when he gets back to his hotel room to kill that.
Oh, wait a minute. What are you saying? That Ludwig completely cleared Reginald, and that's it? That's right?
That's right.
I mean, Ludwig admitted he killed the guy in the parking lot.
That's right. He admitted that he killed Sally Ewing because he thought that she could identify him.
Ludwig even testified that Reginald had no idea he was going to use violence. Specifically warned him against it, he said. It's a whitewash.
I can't believe this.
He's got to be lying.
Well, of course he is. But if we can't get Ludwig to implicate Reginald, there's not a lot we can do.
Well, there's a lot I can do.
No, you're going to go home.
This isn't fair.
Ludwig will spend the rest of his life in jail.
And Reginald will go free? Well, we just can't let him do that. We can't.
There's nothing you can do now. You're going to go home, okay?
All right, I'm going to go home. Okay, I'm going to go home.
It doesn't stop here, does it? Huh? I mean, what about what this guy did to my family? What about what he did to Donna, to my children? Come on, Adam. We had him in our hands, and we're letting him get away.
Maybe not. I got a plan. Anybody interested?
Landing in Miami in just a few minutes, Senora, but then we only have a short time to clear customs and catch our connecting flight to Bay City.
He's got to need help. Why hasn't he gotten in touch with me?
You'll be with him soon, Senora.
Bay City? What would Reginald be doing in Bay City? My son is in school there, but why are they printing these lies about him? What, they're practically accusing him of crime.
Don't upset yourself, Senora, please.
None of it makes any sense.
Everything will be fine for the Senora when we get to Bay City. Yes, very, very soon.
The sooner the better. In fact, I want to leave at 5, 2 hours.
We have to wait for the restraining order to be lifted, or else we'll be in technical violation.
Where in blazes is my son when I finally need him? And get Mitch Blake on the phone. I'll need to leave instructions on how to move and transport the trunk. It's odd. I came here to make sure Cecile wouldn't find that trunk and ended up having my whole life thrown back in my face.
Oh, Reginald, I'm so sorry.
Well, at least Marissa hasn't found out yet. There's still some time to repair the damage. Move. Make those calls. We have to pack quickly.
I am not trying to dodge your questions, Kathleen. I simply don't know the answer. Mary didn't confide everything in me, you know.
But what you are saying is that if it was true, then it wouldn't surprise you, right?
After your mother died, there was a little boy at school who got on the wrong side of you. And you beat the tar out of him. Do you remember?
No.
I do. You were filled with fury, trying to release those feelings of pain and loss. Then you started writing those stories about how when you grew up, you were going to be just like Mary.
That I do remember.
They were beautiful dreams. They still are.
I'm not so sure about that.
Mary was a wonderful woman who died too young, and we all miss her. But you can't throw out the dream, too. That's all you got left.
Look, I have to pick up my friend at the airport. Oh, look. Good luck on your book, my dear. And don't destroy those dreams.
Mama.
Peter has been an absolute turtle through this whole thing.
It has been a very complicated situation legally.
Obviously too complicated for my son.
Peter will be meeting us at the airport with passports.
I pray he can handle that. All these wasted hours because he left the city this afternoon.
Oh, Reginald, he couldn't have known it was all going to reach a head today.
No, it's just his uncanny ability to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Well, that restraining order will be lifted very soon.
Too late. Even chartering my own jet, I won't be able to make it back to Paraguay before dawn.
Undoubtedly, your wife has gone into Asunción.
Have they checked the hotels?
Alonso is doing that now.
She has to be there. Why wouldn't she leave word?
Because La Señora LaSalle thinks you're away, hunting in the mountains. She realized she couldn't reach you.
Yes, yes. As long as she continues thinking everything is all right, the same.
She has no reason not to.
I still have to be there. Delays. This trip's been nothing but delays.
Reginald, it's a shame you had to come back here.
Yes. Except I finally did get a chance to meet my granddaughter. Even with all the hassles, the persecutions, that was something quite extraordinary. I'm going to find a way to reach her. Michael Hudson can't hide her forever.
You shouldn't worry so much, Senora.
Of course I should. Have you looked at this?
I have looked many times.
He is not Reginald, love. He is Reginald LaSalle. This is nonsense.
But it will do no good to upset yourself this way.
These people are trying to hurt him. They practically accuse him of being a criminal.
I'm sure it's not the way it looks. I just need to be with him.
And he's probably going to be angry that I've come all this way, but how could I stay away?
Well, you have a right to be concerned about your husband.
I just love him so much. I just don't want him to be in danger.
It's been a long and tiring trip, Senora. But we will be landing soon. In 20 minutes, we'll be in Chicago. And you'll see Senor LaSalle as soon as we get to Bay City, no? All your questions will be answered then.
Will they?
All right, everything's in order. Let's get going.
Reginald Love. Just the man we wanted to see.
I'm through talking to you people.
Not quite.
Will you please get out of our way?
I'm afraid we're going to have to ask you to come downtown with us.
What on earth for?
Questioning.
I have been cleared of all wrongdoing. Ludwig acted on his own. I was not responsible for the death of Mr. Lindquist or Mrs. Ewing or anyone else.
We know that you've chartered a jet.
So what?
Well, it's obvious that you're planning to leave the country.
Brilliant deduction.
So the charge is intent to commit the crime of unlawful flight to avoid prosecution.
Don't be ridiculous.
Time to go, Mr. Love.
That restraining order has been lifted.
That was the old one. A new restraining order's been issued.
I have pressing business elsewhere.
You're just going to have to forget it.
Now, I have been harassed and delayed long enough. Now, get out of my way.
Can't do that, Mr. Love.
All right.
Sorry.
All right, fine, fine. I've had it with all of you. Now you're going to find out what it is to harass someone like me.
Sorry for the surprise, Mr. Love.
Not now, you're not, but you will be.
Would you care to have a seat?
I care to talk to your superiors so I can let them know what kind of incompetence he has working for him.
They'll be alone.
Why are you in such a hurry to leave Bay City, Mr. Love?
I'm a very busy man.
And exactly where was this flight of yours going to?
Not exactly the cavalry, Peter, but you'll do.
Gomez reached me at the airport. Just what do you think the people are doing?
It's all legal, Peter. We have a new restraining order.
For what?
We need to question your father regarding some stolen property.
Stolen from where? The Kingdom of Tankir?
This is all so absurd. Such an obvious fabrication and setup.
And it may call for a suit against the city, which won't come cheaply.
That's a very nice try, Counselor. But I can tell you there's nothing we'd all rather see than Reginald Love on the witness stand.
Now it all comes clear. The illustrious Bay City Police Department is merely an extension of Michael Hudson.
Well, I heard you'd arrived, Mr. Love.
And I'll be leaving just as fast, Lieutenant.
I don't think so.
This is an outrage.
Your superior will have to answer, Lieutenant.
I won't stop with him. The mayor will get his fill of it, too.
That's your privilege, Mr. Love.
It's my pleasure. Ludwig confessed and cleared me. That is a matter of record. Any further harassment will cause heads to be rolled around here.
I better alert the men.
You'd better alert your superiors so they'll be aware of what's about to descend on them.
Don't treat this lightly, Lieutenant. Police harassment suits have resulted in many ruined careers.
I suppose the captain should be told what's going on.
Warned. All of you should be warned. I'll have your hides for this.
Terrific, Reginald. You know, few people can match your ability to bluff.
This isn't a bluff. I've never had such a good hand in my whole life. Nor have I been so serious. And now, if you don't mind, I'd like to consult with my attorney. Alone.
Officer McKinnon, would you escort Messieurs Love and Love to the interrogation room? I'll be along in a minute.
My pleasure. Gentlemen, have a minute.
He doesn't seem so calm this time.
I know. But you know, there's one thing I can't figure.
What?
He wants to get out of this country, but nobody's taken anything off the Love property and nobody's put anything onto that plane.
We have to search that plane, Adam.
We're going to have to get a search warrant. I want to stall this guy as long as I can.
I want this to work. I want Reginald Love so bad. What I'd really like, even more than that right now, is to hear from Marley.
You will, soon enough. Yeah, I'll hold.
You don't understand. There's been a hurricane warning down there in the Florida Keys. I am really worried.
Well, surely Jake and Marley would have heard about it.
No, not unless they went into town.
Well, they got a phone, don't they?
No, they don't have a phone. They're at an isolated cottage I rent down there from time to time. There's a two-way radio. I tried to reach them on that. But unless they go into town, a hurricane would be a complete surprise.
Restraining order, Peter. What could take so long to read?
I want to make sure the wording is correct, Father.
It's standard wording, standard English. Just get it lifted.
I'll file a motion with Judge Morris.
Well, do it.
I will. Hopefully it'll be ready for you in a couple of hours.
No, sirree. You'll have that ready for me in 30 minutes.
Father, I'm afraid that's impossible. Look, the way the courts work now, the judges demand that everything be very precise. The theory being that the more precise the law, the more people are apt to believe it'll work.
Believe in the law? The law is a joke. No sane man lives by it. You use it to your advantage.
But I am sworn to uphold it. I'm an officer of the court.
I'll tell you exactly what the law is. Words twisted to mean whatever is needed by the powerful to manipulate the weak. That is what the law is, Peter, and don't you forget it.
Yes, Father.
We can set up down here and we'll start our questioning.
Look, I want to call in an associate of mine and make sure that this is done correctly.
Stall, don't you mean?
On the double, Peter.
I think you've got something to say to us, Mr. Love. Would you like to read some of these receipts?
I don't want to read anything. I want your boss in here.
Lieutenant Samuels is busy.
Not him. Your boss, Mr. Hudson. I want him to know that I'm going to be out of here very, very soon. And after that, I'm going to find my granddaughter, Marley, and